What's going on, y'all? Welcome back. It's us. Let's get productive. So it's good to be back. As you can see, I've been gone for a minute. I had to really be 10 toes down and really focus on my VST that I put out on No Tonic 2. But it's good to be back in the fold and talking about some of my favorite plugins. Now, I'm a little bit late on this one just because I haven't really been releasing videos, but this is something that I've sat with for a little while, and I really love this thing as a mastering plugin. It's called Master Plan and it's by Musik, and I love how it's making my track sound. So we're gonna go over the Master Plan. I'm gonna show you some of the elements inside of Master Plan. I'm gonna talk about some of the things that I really enjoy about this thing. I don't know if you guys have it yet, but it's definitely something you guys are gonna wanna check out. So without wasting any more time, let's get right into it. Musik, Master Plan. Let's see what this thing is all about. So as always, I have Logic queued up, and this is Master Plan. A really dope plugin. I love what Master Plan has to offer. Now, as soon as you jump into Master Plan, you're gonna notice the simplicity in the design, which for me is very helpful. When it comes to plugins like this that kind of do a lot of things in one, you can kind of get overwhelmed, and you really want to be able to just focus on the elements that are gonna really tighten your mix and really make things sound radio ready. Everything is pretty straightforward. You have your input and your output sections over here at the top. Right underneath it, you have your low and your high section. So if you want to boost the low end to your overall mix a little bit, or increase the highs in your overall mix a little bit, you can do that via these knobs right over here. In the center here, you have the limiter, which is the loudness knob, and you can kind of push that up and really push your mix forward. Right over here, you have a widener, a stereo widening knob, and you can just kind of turn that up and add a little bit more to the stereo field, really widen your track out a little bit. Over here on the right side, this is really cool. This is where you'll be able to kind of audition your mix in different environments. So you can kind of listen to it in mono. You can go through those different settings, and that's really helpful just to get a gauge of what things are sounding like, especially mono, how things are sitting in the mix. Right over here, you have a multi-band compressor, and it has 3 different settings right here. So you have your lows, your mids, and your highs, and you can kind of just tame those sections of the mix just slightly with this multi-band compressor. You have your smoothness button right here, and it's just like added compression that you can add overall to kind of smoothen the sound out just a little bit. And right over here, you have your calm button. Now, if you've really been cranking this thing up and things are starting to sound, you know, a little messy, not as glued and kind of breaking apart a little bit, you can push the calm button down, and you can increase the amount of that effect that you want to add into the track to kind of smoothen out the mix a little bit and make it not sound so harsh. And if you click this button right here, this 2x, this doubles the amount of frequencies that's affected by that calm button. So you can turn that on and off. And right over here, you have your tape button, and it kind of gives you that tape characteristic, that warmth that you might be looking for. And you can turn that on and off. Over here, you have your thick button, which is one of my favorite buttons over here, and you can turn this on and you can add additional saturation to your track to kind of like, you know, boost it a little bit, especially in those low end areas, and make it sound a little bit warm. Right down here, you have some presets that you can go through that already come with the plugin, and you can change the size of the UI by just playing with these different settings down here, from large to medium to small to extra small. You can play around with that. You have your bypass button up here, and you have your unity button right here that you can turn on, and that's going to help you gain match with the dry signal. And that's about it. Like I said, a very straightforward plugin, very easy to use. Oh, one more thing that I forgot. You can change the color of the UI. So I like that you can go between black and white depending on, you know, how you want to view it. White is a little bit easier to kind of see everything and see what's going on. But yeah, that's basically it. That's everything inside of Master Plan. Now, where this thing really shines is what it does to your audio signal. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to play a beat that I just made and let you guys hear what it sounded like without Master Plan on it at all. And then I'm going to turn Master Plan on, and you'll get an idea of just a little bit of extra edge and push that it gave the track. So this is the track without Master Plan on it. And now this is the same track with master plan on it. And now what I want to point out is one of the things that I forgot to point out a little bit earlier. You have your lux meter right down here, so you can kind of gauge the loudness that's coming out, and that's really, really good to have. It's really good to be able to kind of gauge that. So I'm going to toggle between master plan being on and off so you can see and hear the difference. So this is master plan on. Now, one of the things that I did with master plan to kind of aid my track a little bit in the overall mastering process is I just added a little bit with the loudness knob right here, a slight limiter, just to kind of boost things a little bit. I didn't even mess with the low or the highs. This middle knob right here is kind of magic. Like, it kind of does exactly what you need to do. You don't even really need to mess with too much of the other stuff. And one of the things that Music Hack did with master plan that I thought was really incredible, they really set the parameters inside of this thing so that no matter how much you push any of these knobs in here, you're not going to destroy your mix. So if you turn the wide knob all the way up, it doesn't destroy your mix in the stereo field and just kind of have your track sounding all over the place. For example, I'll just play around with it a little bit so you can hear what I'm talking about. See, that was with the wide knob turned all the way up. It widened the track, but it didn't throw it into outer space into a whole nother galaxy and you never heard from it again. It did just what it needed to do. That's pretty much the case with all of the knobs inside of this thing, that no matter how much you push it, you're not really going to destroy your track. Now, again, all of that is dependent on your levels and how you introduce the dry signal into master plan to begin with. If you start off with something that's crummy, you're going to end up with something that's even worse. But in general, you can really crank this thing and not have to worry about it destroying your mix. And I love that they set those parameters in place so that you can really have fun with this thing, because a lot of other plugins, they really open it up for you so that you can do anything you want, which is great. But if you're trying to get a quick mix out, you're a producer, you're making beats, and you're just trying to send this to an artist and get it to sound as good as you want it to sound, sometimes you don't really have the time to sit and play around with all of those different features and all of that freedom that you can kind of get lost in. You want to be able to hone it all in and bring it together quickly. But that's basically it. I didn't really touch too much. I just turned up the loudness knob to about 1.75 decibels, and that's it. And this is what the track sounds like. So that's it for this review, but let me know what you guys think. Is this something that you could see yourself using in your arsenal? Do you like it? Do you like how it sounds? I'd love to hear about all of that stuff down in the comment section below. As always, if you're new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you can stay notified anytime I drop a new video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.